Welcome to DR TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello, Swami Sharnamayappa. Welcome to Ravichandran Swaminathan ji once again on an important topic of India, Bharat. That means people of India, concerning people of India, citizens of India. Swami Sharnam Swami, welcome to the special.
Swami Saram.
Thankful to you because you are the inspiration for us. Whenever there is a crisis means डेमोक्रेसी. जब भी लोकतंत्र में प्रश्न उठता है तब रविचंद्रन स्वामीनाथन जी, क्योंकि हकों की बात होती है और हमारे जो भी है हम रिसोर्सेस कहते हैं, पानी से लेके आकाश तक, और हक की बात रविचंद्रन जी बोलते हैं स्वामी जी आप रेडी हो जाइए क्योंकि हमारे हक खतरे में है और साथ में हमारे पानी से लेके जल से लेके सब कुछ खतरे में है, वर्तमान और भविष्य भी अंधकार में है. तो ऐसे ही एक मुद्दा, अत्यवसर परिस्थिति 1977 में इंदिरा गांधी ने लागू किया, लेकिन 2023 में क्या मोदी जी उसी तरह की अत्यवसर परिस्थिति आज कायम कर रहे हैं क्या भारत के ऊपर, प्रजा के ऊपर? क्यों कर रहे हैं ये? क्या डरे हुए हैं क्या? इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया को हमने एक अर्जी डाली थी, आप क्या कहां तक पढ़े? और अमित शाह जी के बेटे कोविड-19 में हैदराबाद क्यों आए? क्या हुआ यहां पर? धरनी लेकर बीआरएस पार्टी को लेकर हजारों एकड़ किधर गए? क्या ये प्रश्न करना गलत है क्या? और हिंदू के नाम पे वोट लेते हैं आप. यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आज तक नहीं लाए आप. पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल बिल नहीं है. और हमारे मंदिर भी अभी भी सरकार के कब्जे में है. मस्जिद नहीं है, चर्चेस नहीं है और कुछ भी नहीं है, लेकिन केवल मंदिर. आप ये भी नहीं कर सके. और एक हिंदू होते, शबरीमला इतनी बड़ी 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 मुद्दा है, करोड़ों लोग आते हैं वहां पर, इतना तकलीफ हो रहा है लोगों को, लेकिन मोदी जी अमित शाह कुछ बात नहीं करते. क्यों? क्या ये पूछने से आप हमारी बात करने की जो स्वेच्छा है उसको हरण करना चाहते हैं क्या? टेलीकॉम बिल, इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया बिल और क्रिमिनल कोड को जो सवरण किया है, उससे क्या भारत भारत रहेगा? Are you afraid just by filing a petition against your educational qualifications, Mr. Modi? You are silent on Shabarimala issue, worshipping all those worshippers. Devotees are suffering. You are still silent. Shabarimala, crores of people visit. Similarly, why Amit Shah's son had come to Hyderabad during COVID-19 time? Is it not for thousands of acres to be given to Gujaratis and a clandestine agreement with BRS? Is that the reason when we question you, are you afraid? So that is the reason why you are going to bring amendments to telecom bill so that freedom of speech, expression, my right to liberty, privacy, everything is gone. For that reason, you have been given mandate. What is that you have done to majority people? Uniform civil code, what happened? Population control bill, what happened? Temples still under government hold, while masjids are not there, and so and so. Are you afraid of these things? Instead of doing favor to those who have voted, you want to impose even Election Commission of India amendment bill, appointing appointments by government. And your own Arun Jaitley ji, in 1996, he was clearly arguing against such type of telephone tappings, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. I'm going to present that. First, forward one comment from our guest, then I'll present just in a minute, wind up. Yes, sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, for having me on your show. Today it is people like you and me who have to talk because the opposition is silent. The opposition is working like a juvenile kid, throwing tantrums in the parliament and walking out at the drop of the hat. They forget that their basic business is to question the government. It is part of the checks and balances of our constitution that an opposition was created. But this opposition is not working in that manner at all. In 1996, the Supreme Court talked about this tapping of telephones. In 2010, there was one of the best debates which I saw on Rajya Sabha between Jaitley and Chidambaram. And that time it was the Neera Radia case. Chidambaram had made some statements saying that tax violations will also require phone tapping, and Jaitley objected to that. Then the procedure for tapping, finally he conceded that only the Home Secretary has the powers to order a telephone tapping. Now, today it is the BJP which has brought the telecommunications bill, and Chidambaram is objecting to it. Now, what are these people playing at? 10 years earlier, BJP objected to this telephone tapping. Today, they are bringing in the Telephone Tapping Act. 10 years before, Chidambaram brought in the telephone tapping and the BJP objected to it. Today, Chidambaram is objecting to it. Do they think that the people are fools? Do they think that nobody has got and forget what these people are talking in Parliament? Today, we are in the internet age. Everything is being recorded and it is available on the net. Now, it is about these things that I'm talking. Yesterday, about 4 or 5 bills were passed. The IPC code was amended completely. It is called the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that bill. Then the Evidence Act was amended. The CRPC has been replaced. Then you have the Telecommunication Bill which has been passed. Then you have the Election Commission Bill which has been passed. And in all these, where are the checks and balances? Number one. Number two, the drafting of the bill is very poorly done in that a lot of gray areas are left because of improper usage of words. And third thing is, what is today in one of the bills that was being passed earlier, Amit Shah said that this government will not misuse or abuse it. Fine, we'll take Amit Shah at his word. But
shall I make you the presenter so that you can present your PPT and speak?
Okay.
Huh? Yeah. Just quickly run through. See, Debt India 2014 just 54 lakh crores. Now 2023 205 lakh crores, Mr. Modi. Neither farmer is happy, Kisan Kushe, neither Grahak consumers. When we go to buy, we are happy. Education costly, health costly, transport costly, food costly. Why this 205 lakh crore? Because you have waived off corporate non-performance assets, thousands lakhs of crores for corporates. क्या इसीलिए ये डेब्ट है? क्या आम आदमी को क्या लाभ हुआ मिस्टर मोदी एंड अमित शाह, बताइए। और जैसा प्रतिपक्ष जो है खत्म ही हो गया 2016 नवंबर 8 बड़ी नोट की जो रद्द की गई, डिमोनेटाइजेशन ऑन November 8, 2000. Since then, opposition is no opposition. All have been caught of their black money. Is that the reason why there is no opposition and मनमानी हो रहा है सरकार के साथ? Only corporate needs, corporate favors, केवल corporate परिवार के लिए या परिश्रम के लिए ये सरकार काम कर रहा है क्या? इतना 205 लाख करोड़ डेब्ट किस लिए है? क्या ये पूछना नहीं चाहिए? क्योंकि हम ये पूछना चाहते हैं। और बेरोजगारी क्यों है? वाई देयर इज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, हम ये पूछना चाहते हैं। इसीलिए आप ये बिल अत्यवसर परिस्थिति जैसे लागू किया है क्या? That is the reason why you are creating this sort of emergency. Yeah, I'll just play.
आप 40% टैक्स ले रहे हो, 30 से 40%, right? I'm saying let's say people sitting in the room would be paying marginal tax rate 30 से 40% तो दे रहे हैं, right? कैपिटल गेन पे 28% देते हो आप, लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन पे, ठीक है भाई साहब। आपका बच्चा ना सरकारी स्कूल जाता है, आप मरने को आओगे, आप सरकारी अस्पताल नहीं जाओगे, ठीक है। और आपके सरकार से कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं मिल रही है जिसके लिए आप पैसा नहीं दे रहे हो। आप मेरे को एक बात बताओ ना, जब आपको पता है कि मैं 10 रुपए कमाऊंगा और 4 रुपए सरकार रख लेगी, आप उसको महीनों में गिनो, तब आपको खटके की बात। जो टैक्स पेयर है ना, वो चैरिटी कर रहा है देश में, उसको कोई बेनिफिट नहीं मिल रहा। हिंदुस्तान जैसी जगह में आप 40
और टैक्सेस, डायरेक्ट इनकम टैक्स, इनडायरेक्ट जीएसटी, एंड हर एक जगह इवन टेम्पल टैक्स है मिस्टर मोदी, अमित शाह। इट्स अ शेम। हम जब भी देवल जाते हैं, वहां पर सेवा के लिए हम पैसे देते हैं, हुंडी में पैसे डालते हैं, और क्या यही हो रहा है क्या मस्जिद में और चर्चेस में? और ये पैसा कहां जा रहा हमारा? वहां पर चर्चेस में एजुकेशन है, हॉस्पिटल्स रन करते हैं, दे आर रनिंग चर्च एजुकेशन एंड हॉस्पिटल्स ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ चर्चेस एंड मस्जिद्स, madrasas and all. What is Hindu temple trusts are doing? Are they giving free education? Any hospitals they're taking care of? Where is that money going? It's a shame. Yes, sir. I'm making you to 1 second, sir. Yeah, just yes, sir. Please go ahead. You're talking you're bringing out some beautiful points. You're not saying no to Amit Shah, but what Amit Shah is doing.
Now, like I was saying, Amit Shah may have good intentions. He may not misuse the law, but the road to hell is always paved with good intentions. If tomorrow somebody comes, somebody who is a ruthless person, who is not a good person like Amit Shah, he comes, and if he starts misusing these laws, then what is our status? The law is not something which can be formed today and repealed tomorrow. It is there for a long period of time. And this people should keep in mind when they pass laws. Our fundamental right to expression, right to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, the right to use our communication devices without being tapped. Article 21, Article 19, which gives us the liberty. The right to privacy, the Personal Data Protection Act, which is a stupid act, which should be removed. And apart from all these rights, we also have a fundamental duty now. Now we have a very fundamental duty. And that fundamental duty is, if our telephones are tapped, if our devices are tapped, then we must remove the software which is tapping it and hand it over to the government and tell them that this is not done. So with this, we will start out with the Telecommunications Bill. The original Post and Telegraphs Act, Postal Wireless Act, the Postal Act, the Telegraph Act, all this has been repealed, and now it has been consolidated into one single act called the Telecommunications Act. Now, the Telecommunication Act is very dangerous in the sense that it can be misused. Messages can be intercepted. Calls can be blocked. And telecommunication equipment, if you are taking it in a car, your car can be stopped and it can be seized. It can be seized by an ordinary officer authorized by the government. Earlier, it was the Home Secretary who had to permit it. Now, today, any officer, government officer can do it. And in all this, what the government has done is they are using national security, public safety, public order, public emergency, and they are using the words national security and security of the state. These two words, they are using it interchangeably. Actually, national security is different, security of the state is different. If they start using it interchangeably, then what happens is, if in the legislation itself, you are not able to distinguish between national security and security of the state, then what will happen during implementation and what will happen during interpretation of the law? it is going to create a confusion. The policeman will say an issue is of national security. If you criticize the government, does it become national security or security of the state? Is it causing danger to the nation if I criticize the government? You see, this nuances of words used in law is the biggest issue now. That is why I said the laws are all not properly drafted, are very loosely drafted. My only humble suggestion to the Home Minister is, if the IAS people sitting in Delhi, if the people who are drafting these laws for the standing committee in Parliament, if they do not know English, let them draft it in their own mother language. You can always call an English professor and ask him to translate it. At least, please don't make such stupid mistakes in your drafting.
Wonderful.
Now, originally, interception of any communication, let it be post, message, or phone talk, was prohibited unless there was public emergency or it was required for the public safety.
National sovereignty. Yeah, you can
Yes.
play
Now, sovereignty and integrity of the country.
Yeah. Can you
It
play
was-
can you place your PPT so that people can understand?
I'm a share it.
Yeah, we can share it. I've already made it. Multiple sharing option is there. अमित शाह जी, मोदी जी, अगर जो अंग्रेज नहीं पढ़ सकते, जो बिल को कर रहे हैं, आप उनको ये बताइए कि भाई वो जो जिन भाषा में उनकी बोल सकते हैं और लिख सकते हैं उसी भाषा में करने के लिए बोलिए, ये संशोधन जो भी करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि जो शब्द इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं वो हमारे हक और हमारी जीने की जो प्राइवेसी हम कहते हैं उसको छीन ले रहा है। थोड़ा आप देखिए, आप ऐसे लोगों को दीजिए ताकि वो समझदार हो और भाषा को समझे और वो शब्द का अर्थ समझे जब वो संशोधन करना चाहते हैं। यस सर, प्लीज।
You have got that PPT?
Yes, it is there.
Oh, okay. So these are the reasons why tapping was permitted. Sovereignty and integrity of the country.
Yeah.
Friendly relations with foreign states. Public order. Preventing incitement to commission of offences. Press messages intended to be published by India by accredited correspondent shall not be intercepted or detained unless the transmission itself has been prohibited. For example, we had the Disaster Management Act, which was in force during COVID times, and that time there was a transmission of certain information was prohibited. Now, unless there is a specific prohibition, the press messages cannot be intercepted or it cannot be detained. But in this current Telecommunication Act, the government has reserved the right to stop publications. It has reserved the right to stop internet. And a host of empowerment has been given to the government for that. Originally, the laws which were used, which could be permitted, which could permit tapping, was the Telegraph Act, the Post Office Act, the Wireless Telegraphy Act, the Telegraphic Rules, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and Section 69 of the Information Technology Act, which gave the government sweeping powers. Now, all this has been consolidated and brought into the Telecommunications Act. Now, my problem is, there is another bill which is pending with the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, which is the Broadcasting Bill. And Dr. Reddy, this is going to affect you directly. Broadcasting. Please, I would suggest you go through that, because under it, the government has reserved its right to block any channel which it deems to be dangerous to national security and security of the state. As I said, they have used it interchangeably. So, if they feel that Dr. Reddy is going to become a danger to the country, they can block him.
No, danger to the country means in a wrong way it will go to the public.
No, danger to the country in whatever way they think.
जब हम मैं बताना चाहता हूँ लोगों को, देखिए ब्रॉडकास्टर के बिल, इसके साथ में टेलीकॉम का जो संशोधन हुआ है उसमें हमारे हक गए, हमारी जीने की हक और प्राइवेसी की हक सब कुछ छीन ले रहा है। और जब बोले जिस जहां जहां इंटरसेप्ट कर सकते हैं, इंटरनेट को भी ये लोग रोक सकते हैं। और इसी के साथ में और एक बिल आने वाला है ब्रॉडकास्टर का। जैसे हमारे चैनल्स जैसे जब हम हकीकत बताते हैं, सच बताते हैं, आधार के साथ, संविधान के साथ, कानून के साथ, वी प्रोवाइड एवरी इंफॉर्मेशन एज पर रूल ऑफ लॉ, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इन्वोकिंग एविडेंशियल एक्ट। लेकिन अगर ये सरकार सोचता है कि हम जो मुद्दे उठा रहे हैं फिर भी वो कानून के दौर पर हो, संविधान के दौर पर हो, आधार के दौर पर हो, लेकिन उनके जो हम कहते हैं राजनीति के उनको प्रमाद है, तो उसको दूसरी तरह से पलट के हमारे चैनल को भी ब्लॉक कर सकता है। इसका मतलब यह है कि हम स्वच्छ जो हम जो स्वतंत्र हुए हैं, लोकतंत्र की बात करते हैं, उसको खत्म करने की बड़ी साजिश आज मोदी और अमित शाह ने ये बिलों के संशोधन के द्वारा जो कर रहे हैं, ये हमारे को 1977 इंदिरा जी इमरजेंसी की याद दिलाती है। और उससे भी संपूर्ण, वो तो डायरेक्ट किया है, ये लोग जो है इनडायरेक्ट तरीके से हमारे ऊपर, हमारे हकों के ऊपर, हमारे जीने के ऊपर कब्जा करने की जो कोशिश कर रहे हैं, इससे लोकतंत्र को खतरा और लोकतंत्र खत्म ही हो जाएगा। यस सर, प्लीज।
Now, see, this is now today, Supreme Court has declared. See, in an earlier address also, I was talking about the right to privacy being a primordial right. The Supreme Court reduced it to a fundamental right. Now, the fundamental right, if it is becoming a fundamental right, then the government has got powers to amend it, to restrain it, to constrain it, etc. So this is what the Supreme Court has helped the government to do by reducing the right to privacy from a primordial right to a fundamental right. Now the government is taking advantage of that. A series of bills have been passed which have reduced our right to privacy, which is in incremental steps, we are becoming a surveillance state. Now, as I said, these are the laws which permit tapping. Now, there is a procedure, there was a procedure for tapping also. The Supreme Court had introduced guidelines for telephone tapping in the PUCL versus Union Government case in 1996-97. That time, only the Union Home Secretary at the center or the Home Secretary in the state can authorize telephone tapping. And provided he is convinced that it is essential for the prevention or protection of such acts as provided in the Act itself. The earlier thing that I said, reasons for tapping.
Public safety, sovereignty and integrity.
Yes. Now in the Neera Radia case, what happened? For a tax violation, her telephone was tapped. See. And this is what Arun Jaitley also questioned. He said that there may be hundreds of taxpayers, thousands of taxpayers in this country who has got a dispute with the income tax department or the enforcement directorate. Does that mean that every person's phone can be tapped? So this is a major lacuna in this. And now the government has empowered itself to tax. And now in this change of bills that they have introduced, what they have done is they have brought economic offences also under which will affect national security and security of state. So tomorrow, if you don't pay your taxes of 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees, you can be booked under the Sedition Act and sentenced to life imprisonment.
Then it will apply for all Mr. Amit Shah ji, affidavit, आपके election affidavits, आपके जो भी MPs, MLAs, everyone will fall in this. Everyone will be harassed. Keep this in your mind. Election affidavits कैसे कमाई, इतनी ज्यादा कमाई कैसे है, आपके बेटे ही कैसे बने BCCI सेक्रेटरी, और क्यों आए COVID-19 में, सब पूछे जाएंगे.
Yes, if you talk about COVID-19, you can be booked under Sedition Act because it is against national interest. So this is the amount of power that the government has taken.
Yeah.
And the totally unfortunate thing is all these acts have been passed without any discussion, without any debate, without any opposition in the parliament. Why are we spending so much of money conducting elections? Does the opposition not know the procedures of the House? Do they not know what are the rules under which they can operate in the House? Does it mean that they can act like thugs and bullies inside the House?
प्रतिपक्ष क्या कर रहा है, इतने जो सरकारी पास कर रहे हैं संशोधन में, जो हमारे लोकतंत्र और हमारे हकों का उल्लंघन हो रहा है और अत्यावश्यक परिस्थिति लागू हो रहा है, प्रतिपक्ष क्या कर रहा है इनके मुद्दों पर? क्यों वो लोग चर्चा नहीं कर रहे हैं? ना पार्लियामेंट में करते हैं चर्चा, ना बाहर आके भी कहीं भी मैं कोई भी प्रतिपक्ष नेता को इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया बिल हो, टेलीकॉम बिल हो, इसके ऊपर चर्चा करते हुए मैं नहीं देखा आज तक। यस सर, प्लीज।
Now, so instead of discussing, at least outside they can come and tell the people that this is what is happening. But no, they are spending their time mimicking impersonating the vice president and making a fool of themselves like children. Is this why we elected these opposition parties? What credibility do they have? And it is because of this weak opposition that the government is taking advantage of this situation. This is where the checks and balances have failed today.
Wonderful.
It is very unfortunate because the Supreme Court has clearly said in the Election Commission case that the three people who should form a panel are the Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, and the Chief Justice of India. Today, the bill has been passed which has removed the Chief Justice of India and put a Union Minister in place. Then why do you want to have a Leader of Opposition at all? Is he just going to be a dummy? Are you just playing according to this thing? The spirit of this thing is lost. When in the beginning, when the constitution was formed, Dr. Ambedkar very clearly said that the government cannot appoint the election commission because if it does, then the election commission will not be neutral. Today you have gone against that. And the opposition is keeping quiet. They have not opened their mouth at all. इस पर हंगामा करने का था उनको, लेकिन वो छोड़ दिया उन्होंने।
चुनाव संघ जो है, चुनाव प्रक्रिया जो करते हैं कमिश्नर्स, उनका अपॉइंटमेंट जो है अब प्रधानमंत्री, प्रतिपक्ष नेता और उनके नीचे कैबिनेट मंत्री। और प्रतिपक्ष नेता की जरूरत क्या है? इसके ऊपर कहीं भी प्रतिपक्ष नेता बात नहीं करते, इसके ऊपर ना बात करते, टेलीकॉम बिल के ऊपर ना बात करते, और वो क्रिमिनल एक्ट जो भी है नया संशोधन उसके ऊपर बात करते हैं। जो लोगों को लिए तकलीफ है, हक के लिए, उसके ऊपर प्रतिपक्ष बात ही नहीं करता। और सरकार जो पार्लियामेंट में या विधानसभा में, पंचायत से लेकर पार्लियामेंट तक, लोकसभा में चर्चा होनी चाहिए, कहीं पर चर्चा नहीं है। लेकिन संशोधन के ऊपर संशोधन, ताकि ये लोग हमें हमारे हक को छीने और हमको दबाए रखे। ये क्या मजाक हो रहा है लोकतंत्र का? प्लीज सर, गो हेड।
National. Today we talk about national security. Is it national security or national security? Where is national security when the parliament was attacked? Well, what sort of security can the government provide? Just by playing around with words like national security and security of state, do they mean to say that everything will be hunky-dory? See, this is a problem. National security is not equal to security of state. National security is different, security of the state is different. And when I talk about security of the state, it is meaning only the security of the government, not of the nation. So tomorrow, if I criticize the government, does that mean that it will affect the national security? It is the interplay of words that is causing all this confusion. And today you have passed a bill where you have played around with these words, and tomorrow it is going to create a bigger problem in the implementation point and during the adjudication point. Is this how a bill is to be legislated? And a very important bill, because you are repealing IPC and bringing in Bharat Nyaya Sanhita bill. And in that bill, 124A sedition, the Supreme Court itself is considering whether to remove Sedition Act, declare it ultra vires. Now what you have done is, you have changed the terminology. Now it is not Rajdroh, it is Deshdroh.
So both the Supreme Court and both the government are playing hand in glove, right? Privacy Act to fundamental right, allowing government to pass this. Now another, when Supreme Court wants to totally remove that Deshdroh, Rajdroh, you have brought Deshdroh. Both of them playing equally. Both are constitutional heads and pillars, constitutional pillars. They are playing with the lives of the people. Am I right, sir?
Yeah.
उच्चतम न्यायालय और सरकार मिलके हमारे जीवन के साथ खिलवाड़ हो रहा है। क्या ये कानूनी तौर पर हम संविधान के तौर पर ये सही है क्या? उनको चिंता करनी चाहिए उच्चतम न्यायालय और सरकार। वरना तेलंगाना का एक उदाहरण है, जब आप प्रतिपक्ष को खत्म करते हैं, जब जन पब्लिक, if it becomes opposition, it will take away from the roots. Even Modi, Amit Shah tried to help BRS, they failed. That will be the lesson if you don't learn, whether it is Supreme Court or whether it is the central or union government. Sir, we have 9 minutes. Please go ahead.
So now again, see, all this is now becoming a bigger problem now. When I talk against the government, now who is going to determine whether it is a security of the state issue or a national security issue? It is the policeman who is going to determine that. And when legislators and the judges themselves are not able to distinguish between national security and security of state, how do you expect a policeman in the police station to sit down and distinguish between these two? So tomorrow, if I talk against the chief minister or the prime minister, I can be arrested for sedition. Is this what you want? And I can be imprisoned for life.
It's a shame because we are electing them. They are not Maharajas. They are public servant. ये प्रजा सेवक है और उनके ऊपर जो गलत करते हैं ये लोग, लेकिन जब मेरे को तकलीफ होती है, क्या मैं बात नहीं करूं? मेरा मुंह बंद कर रहे हैं ये लोग. They are trying to shut me up. That is fundamental right. Yes, sir.
This
please.
is what is happening.
Yeah.
And worse than this, a couple of weeks back, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, they have created 2 departments where they are going to use artificial intelligence on cyber security. And this is the most dangerous case because China also did that. They used artificial intelligence in cyber security, and that is how that face recognition programs came up. And today, China is having such an advanced surveillance system that if they obtain a photograph of yours in some public place, they will be able to tell you what you are going to do.
Shame. It's a shame.
Which means, are we also going along the China path?
भारत कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी है, भारत जनता पार्टी है. They have to decide, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. चाइना के जैसा बनना चाहते हैं? कम्युनिस्ट रेजिम को रोज क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं आप, क्योंकि वो हक का उल्लंघन करते हैं वहां बेदौलत. आप इसी तरह की राज्य करना चाहते हैं क्या? यस सर, गो हेड सर, 6 minutes. Please go ahead.
Now, I have given some cases where 6,000 to 8,000 phones are being tapped by central agencies. 10,000 phones are being tapped by state police agencies after obtaining consent. This is after obtaining consent. Now, it will increase several fold. Political leaders, their phones were tapped. Our great Chitra Ramakrishna was also tapping phones in NSE stock exchange scandal. But what happened to that? That is now she's out on bail, and that particular case has been suppressed. So you see, misuse, that is the biggest problem. And today, by giving, something, there it is. I was reading this thing about Aadhaar card. Earlier, I told you that how Aadhaar card is being misused. Data from Aadhaar card is being misused to siphon off money in the Aadhaar-enabled payment systems.
Yeah, that will come later. Yeah, this you.
No,
5 minutes, sir.
So this is what is happening. And if the data which is obtained through authorized or unauthorized phone tapping, how can it be secure? Because this is one of the issues which was raised by Arun Jaitley earlier. Now it is for the citizens to decide how they want to move forward, whether we are going to be continuous a democracy, or as Machiavelli put it, every democracy will finally end up in anarchy or dictatorship. We are on that path to a totalitarian state. Over to you, Dr. Reddy.
Yeah. Right to privacy has been declared a fundamental right by the Supreme Court. Phone tapping is a breach of privacy. The data obtained through Authorized phone tapping is to be kept secure. The data cannot be shared with anybody, including the media. The admissibility of the sting operations as evidence depends. यहीं पर है आपके ओन संतोष जी को किस तरह मैंने फोन टैपिंग केस हाईकोर्ट में फाइल किया था मिस्टर मोदी अमित शाह, उससे वो बाहर आए। और आप इसी तरह की साजिश दुनिया के ऊपर, हमारे लोगों के ऊपर, भारत के ऊपर करना चाहते हैं क्या? Sting operations conducted under Prenatal Diagnostic Act are permitted. This is the only act that permits sting operations. Sting किस तरह केसीआर ने किया है, बीआरएस ने किया है आपके संतोष जी के ऊपर, क्या आप यही तरीका की कानून आप भारत दुनिया के ऊपर लागू करना चाहते हैं? क्यों डरे हुए हैं आप? क्योंकि आप इनसिक्योर है, इसीलिए आप ये लागू करना चाहते हैं अत्यवसर परिस्थिति। Yes sir, you come out of that so that we will come onto the screen. You come out of here. So this is for today. All the bills, telecom, yeah, wonderful. All the telecom bill ho, या इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया की, या जो कानून में संशोधन लाए हैं क्रिमिनल कानून में, ये सभी जो अगर लागू हुए तो भारत लोकतंत्र नहीं रहेगा और हर एक नागरिक का हक, प्राथमिक हक छीना जाएगा। क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट, उच्चतम न्यायालय देखते रह जाएगा क्या? उनकी भी गलती नहीं है क्या? यहाँ पर राइट टू प्राइवेसी को फंडामेंटल राइट बनाया, इससे आज सरकार खिलवाड़ कर रही है। क्या उसको सही तरीके से करेगी क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट, उच्चतम न्यायालय? So this is what we have presented today, all the bills, whether it is telecom amendment bill, election commission of India, or the criminal acts, whether it is IPC, CRPC, the amendments, they are definitely going to put India into an emergency state wherein you lose your fundamental rights, you freedom of expression, right to privacy. Supreme Court has to take the lead because it has made right to privacy a fundamental right with which the government is now playing around. Election Commission of India appointment, is Supreme Court going to intervene? Telecom bill, your own phones can be tapped now. Chief Justice of India and Chief Justices of High Courts, what will you say now? And the criminal acts, the amendments which they have done, by doing so, can courts go for trial? Will there be judiciary at all? Because right from a constable, they are taking law into their hands, including collecting DNA and everything. Am I right, Mr. Ravichandran ji?
Yes, yes, you are absolutely right.
If that is the case, one wing, by these amendments, directly I am putting it to the citizens of India. By these amendments, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, they are bringing emergency. They talk about Indira Gandhi's emergency, but what is that they are doing? Are they aware of these amendment words and all? By doing so, two constitutional pillars, one is judiciary, the other one is the press, fourth estate. Both are going to go away. And those who will be elected, electoral bond funding, they will be puppets in the hands of corporates and these type of politicians. Any one passing comment, sir? India in danger.
It is India, we are marching towards a totalitarian state. In one word, we are marching towards a totalitarian state. If we go at this rate, then I am sure that all our fundamental rights will be constrained or restrained at some point in time. And that is a very dangerous situation.
It is a dangerous thing. India is going to become China, a mocking state. There is no democracy. And you talk about communism, no fundamental rights. Or is India going to become a laughing stock in front of the world, in the world's eyes? Should we remain democratic or not? Should we breathe